these two PYE valves on this video, one is for a meat box and the other one is for a milk box. So one box I need around 36 degrees for the milk, and on the other hand I need around 33 degrees for the meat box. How does the PYE valve work? As you can see in the video, there's a solenoid on top of the PYE valve. The solenoid doesn't do anything. The only thing the solenoid does is closing the PYE valve during the defrost cycle. That's it. It just works for defrost. And we set up the solenoid for the lower temperature setting, just to keep the PYE valve open at all time. At the bottom of the PYE valve, there's a stem, and if you want to bypass the PYE valve, you can rotate it all the way in, and therefore the PYE valve is not being used. You can put a solenoid if you want. You can put a different EPR valve if you want, in case you don't want to use it. There's another stem on top of the PYE valve where you can adjust the pressure to the temperature that you desire. Okay. Let's say you're using 404A, right? And you want a temperature for 36 degrees for the milk. You're gonna need a coil at 21 degrees. Therefore, your pressure should be at 56 degrees, 56 psi. And then if you want your case to be at 33 degrees, you're gonna need an 18 degree coil and a 52 psi at your PYE valve. So the pressure leaving your evaporator gotta be at that pressure, and it's gonna stay like that. If you have a graph, if you're able to read the temperature graph, you're gonna see it doesn't really move, compared to a solenoid. So a solenoid, you need a pressure differential. If you want your box to be at 30 degrees, you need a +5 temperature differential. So your solenoid is gonna be open and closed based off temperature. When the temperature is 30 degrees, it closes, right? And then when the temperature goes up to 35, it opens. So that graph is gonna be different because it's gonna be going from 30 to 35, 30 to 35. But the box with the PYE valve on it, if you want 36 degrees, right? Your pressure is at 56 psi. Your temperature will never go above 36 degrees, okay? Because that's how the PYE valve is set up. It keeps a steady temperature, a steady pressure. If your PYE valve is not working, you're gonna notice it in your temperature, because the temperature is gonna vary, okay? It shouldn't do that. That's why we prefer PYE valves, especially on big commercial systems, on rack systems, right? And you can have an 8-footer case, and on one side you want milk, and on the other side you want veggies, right? You want different temperatures. Therefore, personally, I put an EPR valve, either a PYE valve or a regular evaporator pressure differential on it. And it's gonna keep different temperature at all time on the section that you need it.